stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, board members.
Welcome, everyone, here and at home. This is to advise those present at this meeting of the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school, and high school buildings. The notice has also been mailed to the press of Atlantic City and filed with municipal clerks of Bass River Township, Eagleswood, Little Lake Harbor Township, and the borough of Tuckerton. The roll call was already made. You want to do it again?
We'll just have to add it. Miss Fagan, I think, is virtual now.
Is Ms. Fagan on?
You have Miss Zimmerman. Yes.
Okay. I want to apologize up front for how I sound. I'm not feeling well. Got a little bit of a cold that one of my joyous grandchildren decided to give me here at the holidays. If I fade, I'm going to hand it over to Augie, but I think I can hang in there. All right, motion, move on to item number 5, approval of the minutes. We need a motion to approve minutes for the open session and the closed session from October 17th, 2022. Motion? Second?
Second.
Any questions?
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Betty,
Yes.
Miss Fagan,
Yes.
Miss Hannadel,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Miss Zimmerman. Yes. Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Item number 6, report of the superintendent. I give you Dr. McCauley.
Thank you. I'm actually going to let our student reps go first. So our junior high rep, if you'd like to come up to the microphone, and then we will hear from our high school rep.
Hello, my name is Isabella Russo, and I am a member of the junior high school. I am a member of the junior high school.
So she has to go into the mic, maybe move it more towards her. There you
Great.
go.
Hello, my name is Isabella Russo, and I am a member of the junior high school student government. The junior high school has had a roaring good time with events within the school. We are also looking forward to some of the following upcoming events. We had our first Roar event on October 28th, which was an ice cream truck. The students were very excited, and we are so proud of the junior high school student body for all the positive contributions to making the junior high a more positive place. The junior high school first, 7th, and 8th grade fundraiser was a successful event, and the pickup date for the items is on November 22nd. Mr. Shore sent out information about how to sign up for a pickup time. Please reach out to Michelle Molesky or Allison Lawrence if you have any further questions. The junior high school Pride students, along with school-based youth services, held their annual Thanksgiving food drive. With the help of staff and student participation, we were able to put together 19 complete meals to provide to families within our community. National Junior Honor Society just had our annual Veterans Luncheon on the 15th of November. We had several veterans from the community attend. The Pinelands Education Association, NJHS, the staff donated towards our event, and it was a success. Grapevine also was gracious enough to prepare out our order. Mr. Brown and his chorus put on a phenomenal show. All National Junior High School students did an amazing job with their ceremony, attending to our veterans and serving them lunch. Overall, this was a great time had by all. Some of our upcoming events are the Pinelands Junior High Student Government Holiday Drive. Collection dates will be the 21st of November to the 16th of December at the junior high school. Please drop off donations at the junior high school. We are looking for canned foods and middle high school sized specific clothing items. The items needed are leggings, sweatpants, joggers, hygiene products, hats, and gloves. The next Roar event is a combined event for November and December. We are hosting a movie night with hot cocoa and cookies on December 22nd. We are super proud of all of our students at the junior high school and thrilled that so many students are getting positive referrals so often during the school day. Keep up the great work. The junior high school would like to also thank the staff for all their support of our students and for taking the time to celebrate students going above and beyond. Thank you for your time, and the junior high school would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and to remember this poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson. For each new morning within its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything thy goodness sends. Again, happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you're up. Good evening. November has been a very busy month so far here at the high school. So the History Club is currently planning their yearly Christmas trip to Philadelphia. They've also formed a committee to host a bake sale, and all proceeds will go to UNICEF, so that's really great. The Spanish Club has started to work on their annual Pulsera project. All proceeds go to artisans in Central and South America. The Thespian Council has just completed 3 nights of the amazing show, The Curious Savage. The cast and crew did an amazing job. The Video Productions Club is currently working on submissions for Atlanticare's Winter Health PSA contest and planning some fun holiday clips for the school come December. And lastly, the Pinelands chapter of the Special Olympics of New Jersey held a fundraiser at Chick-fil-A recently to help provide food for the Harvest Dance, and this was their 2nd year hosting the dance. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So next up, we are going to be highlighting another area of our school district that is reaching out and helping others and helping to make our school district a better place. So if technology wouldn't mind showing our Here to Help video, please.
I'm Jim Ardwin. I'm a science teacher here in Pinelands, and I am the founder of the Cat Eye social media accounts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. 2015, and I went to talk to Mr. Shore and told him that I had an idea. It was a culmination of a lot of different things. It was a culmination of just the negativity sort of surrounding education, how I felt as a teacher, how I felt, looking around here at Pinelands. The news just wasn't being circulated, and the community didn't know, and I didn't know, and I just thought there has to be a better way. If we could get our story out and let people know who we are and what happens here every day, tell people what our alumni do after they graduate, we could tell our own story, because if you don't tell your own story, then you're stuck with the one that everybody else writes for you. The first time we talked, Mr. Shore asked me what I was going to do. I had no idea. It's sort of grown and manifested into itself. We asked people to help. It's supposed to be an interactive kind of project so that anybody can take a picture and share it with us, and we will spread the news and the positivity. These are our students, whether they're in the school doing something or out in the community doing something, doing great things. And over the years, it's just sort of transformed. It's gotten way bigger than I ever expected. We've had Staff Sundays, Teacher Tuesdays, Wildcat Wednesdays, Meme Mondays, Throwback Thursdays, Alumni Fridays. They just sort of morphed into alumni updates because we get so many updates that it's hard to just wait for Fridays for them to come out. We featured our alumni when they graduated from college, from basic training, any other achievements they've had in their lives. And I love to feature classic cats, which are our retired teachers. I like to put out the spotlight for them because for most of them, they taught most of their career with without any kind of recognition. There wasn't social media. It's such a great way to actually positively communicate. As many the negativity of social media is its own problem, but it can be used for positive things too, and I think the Cat Eye pretty much demonstrates that. The current Cat Eye team is Ms. Cameron Barr, an English teacher here at the high school. She handles a lot of the photography and the videography that we do, plus as an alumnus has some ideas and connections. Ms. Leanne Lacuter, our graphic design teacher, is a huge part. She's been a real big help in taking some pictures and also helping me with the beautification projects around the high school, between the timeline wall on the media center wall and the future steps wall that we started this year. A few years ago we added the Cat Eye student crew. We can't be everywhere all the time, so all the students who help us, they're players on teams, they're at games, they send back scores, they send back results, they give us a heads up when clubs are running fundraisers, when they're doing certain projects in class, and they take pictures of all those things and send them our way. They've been a real huge asset over the last 3 or 4 years. So as we move forward with the Cat Eye, we will continue to celebrate our students and our staff. As we say, hashtag our school, our story. When it comes to telling our story of positivity, the Cat Eye is here to help. The Cat Eye is a labor of love from all of us.
Thank you so much for the production. Thank you to Mr. Ardoin for putting that together. It really was a great job. So next, I just have some announcements. Congratulations to the girls volleyball team. They are B South Public School Division and South Jersey Group 3 state champions. We are so proud of them. And also a special shout out to our football team. They ended their season 7-4, and that coaching staff really has put together an amazing team. The boys did an amazing job. It really was wonderful. So we're looking forward to the future to see how the program gets built even more. So congratulations to all of them. We held our strategic planning meeting in November. It was a success. Again, we had a great turnout. We had some great ideas discussed, and we have our last one, December 5th, 5 o'clock, right in this room. We hope everyone can attend. Even if you missed the first two, please attend. We recently had the parking lots in both schools fixed. Some of the cracks were fixed. We are going to be finishing up that project in the spring. They're going to put an overcoat on that. Thank you to Amanda and the maintenance department for assisting with this. Amanda was great. We came into some additional monies that we were able to put towards some renovations. So this is the first of a numerous projects that we're going to be doing. We are looking to fix up a lot of the athletic fields, some of the backstops and things like that. So we have a lot going on, and we're really happy that we're getting all this work done. So I know that there was an article that came out recently in the Atlantic City Press regarding Viking yachts and some apprenticeship programs that they're doing with that school district. I just want the board to know that Mr. Henderson and I have reached out to them a few times, and we're hoping to be successful this time. We do want to get a similar program started for our students. We have many students that go to VOTEC here and that may not go to VOTEC that work at Viking that wind up working there after high school. So it really only makes sense that we can start that type of program or relationship with them. So Dr. Clark may have a connection there that she's helping with, and we're trying to get our feet in the door so we can expand our programs to students. Our junior high math teacher, Jerry Lynn Williams, is part of a beta study for a platform many teachers use called Pear Deck. She and her class are giving feedback to the developers on a new segment of the platform called Pearville. So we're excited that she was chosen for this and that we get to participate in that study. Mr. Ardoin was purchased I'm going to say this wrong, anatomage table, which is like anatomy. And it is for his anatomy and physiology classes. It visualizes and shows the simulation of 3D anatomy and physiology with our virtual dissection table. It's called I'm not going to say it again. It offers life-size bodies. So this large table takes the place of actually cutting up some type of animal, which is great. And it's more detailed. We have more variation of different types of animals, large and small. So it really took this type of instruction and learning to the next level. So we're happy that he has this experience with the students and that we were able to get this for him. So very exciting. The first marking period grades are being finalized. Just a reminder to families to review your child's progress and reach out for additional support if needed. The scheduling team, as per our contract negotiations, has begun to meet and will continue to look at new and innovative ways to utilize the time in the school day to optimize student learning. So basically, it's a team of administrators and teachers that are working to see if the schedule should be revitalized and changed for the upcoming contract. So they're meeting the first Thursday of every month. They already met once. They're skipping December to do some research, and then that work will take place again in January. So it's a great endeavor that they're taking place. I have one more thing before I turn it over to Amanda. Sue Schilling and I, my assistant, have recently had this pen pal from Pennsylvania. He is the son of the man that was the architect that created Pinelands. So he often will send me little letters. He would send me the original drawings and some publications that came out when his dad designed Pinelands, the high school. And he recently sent me another letter. You can see handwritten. He sends these to me, and unfortunately, the obituary for his father. So the man that designed Pinelands High School actually passed away recently. So Sue and I are reaching out back to him in appreciation of sending this to me, but he's just been wonderful and sent me so many things, and he's so proud of the work that his father did. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up to the board.
What is his name?
The architect was Jamil, Jim, they called him Faraday. And I can pass this around if you want to read it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there you go. And now I'm going to turn it over to Amanda before I say happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Hello, everyone. We have a little bit of a bog update. Dr. Clark and I have been familiarizing ourselves with the bog and dam project that Nick had started when he was here. We've been having several different meetings with different groups just to kind of get the backstory of everything that happened to get us up to date. We did receive a letter from the DEP today regarding the 2022 dam safety inspection report and some items that we need to address on that. We're asking for an extension of time to file the requested documentation, just to give us some time to make sure that we're up to date and we give them the best information we have. We are exploring our options for the dam removal or restoration. It's ultimately going to be the board's decision. We do have a more lengthy, detailed information that I will share to everybody via email. I didn't want to take up too much time with it tonight, but we do have a lot of information. And Kim has been a really big help with me because I'm more of an accountant, not a science person. So we're working on it and we're doing good. So we're getting, I feel like we're kind of where Nick left off, and now we need to figure it out and get it down the road. So.
You're having meetings?
We are not, we've been just having meetings to get us up to speed, not anything new.
I would just suggest if we have meetings,
Yes,
that there were some members of the community that were involved in that community.
right,
who I'm sure would like to be kept in the loop.
right. We are just been going over past information that we had, kind of just actually physically going out there and seeing for myself. So things that the committee has already gone over and done. So we didn't want to duplicate that work, but there has been no decisions made. I did reach out to a couple of people, and when we do have new information, I definitely will get that committee back together.
Okay,
All right, that's all we have.
all right, so we'll move on to presentations. So I'll give you Dr. Clark and Gina Frasca.
Good evening. I'm going to fly solo. I have Dr. Clark here in case. Oh, thank you. So as a requirement, we are presenting the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment results from the spring. You may not have heard of this assessment. It was brand new last year. So it's called the New Jersey GPA, not to be mistaken for a GPA like a grade point average. So this is the new required New Jersey assessment for the junior class. So this may be the first time you're hearing about this. The students that are currently seniors, like Olivia, like Miss Benson, took the New Jersey GPA. Remember that? In the spring. And we did meet with the students. We talked to them about the assessment. Again, it was a new assessment. So this became the requirement, the high school requirement. Remember the park, this is replacing that assessment. And after the park, it was the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment, and now it's the New Jersey GPA. So this becomes a pathway to graduation. So as you know, as a board, we have certain courses that the students need to take, for example, 4 years of English, 3 years of science, 4 years of health and PE, and so on. Along with those subject area requirements, there is a requirement to pass a high school assessment, and this is the new assessment. So last year when we met with the students in March, we talked to them about you have to do your best, this is a requirement, and this is one of the ways to meet graduation requirements. Keeping in mind the students that are seniors, the last time they took a standardized assessment was 8th grade. So that was a long time to not have those kind of assessments. So this was a pretty big deal. So after the assessment was given in March, on July 5th, Governor Murphy signed a law that requires the state board to administer the GPA as a field test. So they kind of backed up and said, you know what, these kids have been through a lot. You know, let's not use this as a high school requirement for this class of 23. So again, that kind of came out afterwards, which we were very appreciative of because what the students have been through has been monumentous when it comes to all of the challenges of COVID. So that law came into play again in the summertime. And if you look at the last bullet, there is no graduation assessment requirement for the students of 2023. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, this may be the first year ever that we've had this, not to have a graduation assessment requirement. So that was a big deal. So why look at these scores and why talk about them? We are going to use the data that came back from those scores to review our curriculum and plan ahead and see what areas we need to really focus on. And just a little bit more information, the GPA for the English Language Arts assesses all of the standards up to ELA 10. And for math, it assesses Algebra 1 and geometry. So here is our data, and of course it's concerning if you look at our district data, how many students passed, about 31% in ELA. But if you look at the state, just a little over, about 39% in the whole state. So this doesn't even take into consideration our district factor group B. This is the entire state, under 40% passed in ELA. In math, 33% for Pinelands and 50% for the state. So yes, we are going to be working on this, but again, we are pretty much in line with the full state of New Jersey. This is a real good chart to kind of give you an idea. These are the ELA evidence statements, and I know it's hard to see. I will send this to the Board of Education. On the bottom are all of the standards for ELA. So it'll have all of the standards listed, and you can see the blue is how the state did, and the yellow is how our district did on each standard. So you can see we're pretty much in line with how the state did, all of the students, the juniors from last year. We will be using these evidence statements because it breaks down even deeper into each standard with the teachers to go over which standards we need to really focus on, and again, focus on our curriculum and planning. Here is the math evidence statements. Again, the blue are the state, where every student was in the state of New Jersey, and the gold is Pinelands. So we do have to do some work on some of those standards that are lower than the state, but again, pretty much on the same trajectory. So what are we doing about it? Here are just some of the plans that we have, and we're actually doing a lot of this now, and we have been. We are focused on multi-tiered systems of support. We have student success teams in both buildings, targeted instruction, after school and summer support, progress monitoring, professional development. Is that a fire truck? Mr. Henderson? Professional development. We have intervention specialists in both the junior high and high school. We collaborate with guidance, SBYS, and the CST. And we have planned for December data meetings with each of the teachers. So we will be looking at a lot of the statements with the teachers and looking at the standards that are lower than average. And that's all I have. We do have the Start Strong data that's going to be presented in December. So again, this is part of our requirement for CUSAC, and I will send you this presentation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yes, Ms. Hannadel.
Is the test closer to any of the tests that they already give right now, that you guys give? I mean, usually it's like, you know, what, 5 or something? That's
So it mimics some of the assessments we give in class. Actually, interestingly enough, the state is currently rewriting ELA and math standards. So this could be,
why?
yeah. So they're looking to see, we've actually had updates on all of the other subjects. And are everything okay? Okay. So all of the others have been updated up until this point. I believe the ELA standards are the oldest. ELA and math are the oldest standards. So this may be moving with the assessment.
Do you think this test is going to be required next year, or do you know?
It's required this year. So our current juniors will be taking this in March.
Or
Yes, and I will be reporting on how they do next year. Okay,
When did they took this test? In
March,
And when did the governor say that it,
July.
July? Okay. So after they took it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which makes it really challenging for everyone. But that's kind of how things have been going.
but at
So we're
least
doing the
it's
best we
already
can.
mined. At least they looked at it and saw.
I was happy that they were reflective of what the students and the staff have been through when it comes to preparing, and also the fact that they haven't taken a test like that, a high stakes test like that, since they were in junior high. So we were very relieved for the kids and the staff. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to board forum. Zimmerman, you have anything for us during board forum? Mr. Rossetti? Mr. Bartlett?
Not at this time.
Ms. Hannah?
I'm just sorry I missed the play.
Ms. Martin? Mr. Dalia?
Well, this is probably for old business.
Okay. Ms. Fagan, do you have anything for us during board forum?
Nope, I just want to apologize for showing up late.
That's okay. We're glad you're with us. And Miss Betty, do you have anything for us in board forum?
I'd just like to say that I actually did see the play, and I thought that, as always, they did an outstanding job. We should be so proud of our theater program. So that's, and the Cat Eye too. The Cat Eye is pretty exceptional. So I wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Ms. Martin, did you have anything you wanted to say about the play? You were sharing some thoughts with us about that. Did you want to?
Just absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And I was praising the actors, the stage crew, and I offered my bit of a complaint leaving the house when it's 30 degrees out, 10 o'clock at night to go pick them up. You know, you complain all week long going out that late. And in the end, I mean, no question would we all the parents do it all over again.
It was all worth
And
it.
also, if it's the appropriate time, Lisa, Betty, the entire, you know, definitely the students, Mr. Miller, Mr. DeFrancia, everyone involved. But I have to say, the parents that behind the scenes that collect the candy bars, soda, water, etc. to sell. I mean, so many donations are made, but just the parent volunteers, they are absolutely amazing. And we're lucky to have the program, but we're also lucky to have these parents. We really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the community is lucky to have an opportunity to see these wonderful plays in their own backyard. So it's a win-win for everybody.
It truly is.
I have a couple things I wanted to just bring up during the board forum. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our dual enrollment program with Stockton University and Ocean County College. 21 different courses are offered, over 120 students are enrolled. 101 students are enrolled in AP classes. And our cooperation with the Ocean County VOTEC program offers 30 career training programs for high school students. High school students that wish to get more information about the VOTEC program can also speak with their high school guidance counselor. And here at Pinelands, we also have automotive technology, 1, 2, and 3, construction technology, 1, 2, and 3, graphic design, 1, 2, and 3, which is, and the third session is a dual enrollment program, home maintenance, photography, visual tech, 1, 2, and 3, STEAM work, robotics, video productions, advanced video productions. So there's a lot of opportunity for college-bound students here at Pinelands, and also for students who need to graduate or want to graduate career ready. There are opportunities. And I would be amiss if we didn't talk about the JAG program here at Pinelands, which was a program that Dr. McCooley brought to Pinelands. It is a program for 11 and 12 grade students that prepare students for employment, apprenticeships, and college. It's a project-based learning program. It's career-based. They have field trips, including employer assessment experiences. They do job shadowing and opportunities for attendance at state and national conference. And a course that is spearheaded and taught by Ms. Nooner, who is an award-winning teacher across the board, but is one of the best JAG instructors here in the state of New Jersey, and we're blessed to have her. And also, we also have culinary arts here at Pinelands. So there's a lot going on for students here. And I just wanted to make sure we talked about that a little bit and got that information out there. Moving on to new business. We have a policy presentation, and I will be Dr. McCooley on that.
Thank you. Before I do that, I know that some people have been a little nervous in the room. We've seen some vehicles coming by. Unfortunately, there was a local incident, and some of the fire trucks, the ambulance need to use our field just to medevac someone out. So not related to the school district, but they are using our fields, and we do have that partnership. So that's why they're coming through this way.
Thank you for that update.
You're welcome. So for me, for new business, I just want to give a recap. Mr. Bartlett had asked us to revisit the fact that our homeschooled students do not get to participate in activities and/or sports. And we agreed that that needed to be researched. Ms. Frasca and I did look into that with Ms. Kenny's help and Mr. Sunderman, and we did see that other school districts in Ocean County do participate and let their homeschooled students do that. I see no reason why not to open more opportunities for students. Even those that are homeschooled may participate in our activities and may want to be part of our school family. So I think it's a win-win. You'll see on the agenda tonight, there are 2 policies for revision, and that will allow homeschooled students now to participate in clubs, activities, and sports. The caveat to that is they have to provide their own transportation here at the end of the day, but they're welcome to take our buses home for late buses. And they will have to participate in the random drug testing that our students have to. So they still have to follow those regulations. So if their name is randomly called, they would have to get their child in to participate in that. But other than that, we welcome the students that want to be part of this. So those are the revisions you're going to see on the agenda tonight. So once those are passed, homeschooled students can now participate.
That's great.
Any questions?
Can you talk about school-based? let 'em know.
Amanda had asked me too. So, yeah, I mean, and Kim, add any details you want. At this point, we are pleased that with the pressure that we put on, that parents put on, that our legislators put on, they are not taking school-based out of the budget. So it will be funded as is for now, for the upcoming school year and next year. But we do not want to lose sight of the fact that this could happen again in the future. So after January, we're going to start participating in those virtual meetings that we have been, and we're going to stay on top of this so it doesn't come out again. But we're happy with this. So we are secure for at least another year and a half. Yeah, thanks, Kim.
Thank you. And what a fine example of how the board can address policies that the board wants to see changed, wants to see revised, working it through the process here. So I really appreciate all the cooperation from Will and yourself and Karen.
Sure.
Great job there. All right, old business. So I guess we already did our.
Yeah, we already
update.
got the BOG update. Yeah.
So we'll move on to budget committee. I asked last month for some volunteers to serve on the budget committee, and as it stands right now, I have Ms. Martin, Ms. Dalio, and myself on that committee. We could use one other person. From speaking with Amanda, the department heads are still working on their individual budgets, and they need to have them in by November 30th.
Yeah, the end of
So we're
November.
looking hopefully to meet in the beginning of December to start working on that. Is there anyone else that would like to volunteer for that? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Zimmerman. It's like asking a kindergartner a question. Everybody's face just went down.
I know.
The budget's so exciting,
Don't do the
Amanda.
Excited.
Don't look.
Oh, I can't wait.
I will be coordinating a meeting the beginning of December.
I guess it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to think of dates that you couldn't make or times that aren't good. So
Yeah, I'll
that
put out a survey.
sounds good. All righty. We'll move on to residents forum. Board policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on agenda items only. And please remember, that's agenda items only at this time. You have free reign later on in the meeting. Anyone wish to address the board on agenda items only? Please step up to the mic and give your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Joe Becker. I live in Mystic Shores, 408 Lenape Drive. I had understood when I submitted a question for the Pinelands Regional Board, it would be part of the agenda. Is this the appropriate time to talk about that?
Where did you submit a question,
Madam
Mr. Becker?
President,
Where did you submit a question, Mr. Becker?
on Tuesday of last week.
How? Did you email it to someone?
So I went onto the website and I entered the question in the website, name, address, phone number, contacts, and then I entered my question into the website.
And I apologize because I missed that. I did not check to see if there were any questions for the board. So I'm going to review that right now. And if I can address that, I will. And if not, I will absolutely get back to you. I'm going to look right now to see what your question was.
That'll be fine. I'll go ahead and say my comments then for the open forum at the end.
Do you recall what the question was? You want to ask it now?
I have it here if you want to take the time.
That's fine. Sure.
It's
Well,
on
then-
an agenda item, correct?
Pardon?
It's on an agenda item, correct?
I am not entirely sure what you mean by an agenda item. I had understood when I filled out the question, it would become an agenda item, but perhaps I misunderstood.
No,
that.
they don't become agenda items. Typically in my superintendent update, I address the questions. And I already did that, but I can absolutely address it if I have the answer to it right now. Otherwise, I can get back to you.
Let me take this up during the end of the meeting for the residents forum
Sure.
at that point.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
In the meantime, I'm gonna try to find it.
Moving on to item number 10, instructional. I need a motion to approve items A through E.
Motion.
Second. Any questions? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please, Amanda.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Betty,
Yes.
Miss Fagan,
Yes.
Miss Hannadel,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman. Yes. Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to item number 11, personnel items A through P. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion. Second.
Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Bartlett,
Go ahead, thank you.
Yes.
Miss Betty, Miss Betty,
Yes, sorry, I had a problem with the mute button. Yes.
okay. Miss Fagan,
Yes.
Miss Hannadel,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman. Yes. Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes.
motion carries.
Moving on to item number 12, operations. We need a motion to approve A through D.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, I actually have a question on this one.
Sure.
The drones, what are they going to be used for?
So they're typically used for taking pictures and things that we use for the website. I know in this case, this is someone that's working with Mr. Arduin on the bogs and for like the ecology section when the kids go out there. So they could use the drone to take pictures of different areas out there, and they're using it like in their study when they do the coursework.
So I thought I've seen them before, at like maybe sporting events and stuff. That's why when I saw this on here, I was like,
Yeah, we haven't used it for that. We've used it for photos of things for the website. But in
okay,
this case, they're using it for Mr. Arduin's science instructions.
just curious.
Can I ask an odd question about the provider list? Do
Sure.
they look south, like Atlantic County and stuff? Because there seems to be a lot of Tom's River, Galloway's a lot closer even than Tom's
So
River. I was
Mrs.
just wondering.
Lichten-Wanners here, she updates that provider list. So do you ever go south?
Since you live south. I do. Okay, good.
All righty, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Any more questions? Roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Betty,
Yes.
Miss Fagan,
Yes.
Miss Hannadel,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman. Yes. Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Ms. McVeigh,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item number 13, the report of the board secretary, business administrator. We need a motion to approve items A through N.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Betty,
Yes.
Miss Fagan,
Yes.
Miss Hannadel,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman, Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. We have no informational items at this time, so we will move on to residents forum for general topics. Board Policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on any topic. Anyone wish to address the board on any topic?
Do you want to address Mr. Becker's question?
Sure.
So Mr. Becker, once again, I apologize for not looking at that document prior to the meeting. There was a question from you. It's rather lengthy and it really pertains to the attorney. So that would be something that the board would not answer. I or Ms. McVeigh would have passed that along to the attorney regardless. So I am going to turn it over to Casey at this time.
And Mr. Becker, first of all, I apologize. Sure.
Of course.
I apologize in advance. Obviously, I just saw this question and comment for the first time. So I would ask for your indulgence in allowing us, of course, to respond to it in a more detailed manner later, which I can obviously do. We can respond to your specific concerns, but I just wanted to address a couple of the points in that statement. With regard.
If I may, ma'am, I'd like to read my question.
Sure.
And you
okay.
can respond to that but Madam President, may I go take the time to read my question?
Sure, certainly.
Thank you. Apologize. That's my wife calling us. Say, be brief, Joe. She's persistent. She's not hanging up. So if I may, I did go to the.
Please speak into the mic so that everyone can hear and our board members at home can hear.
Very
Okay?
good. Can you
Thank
hear
you.
me fine?
Yep.
Thank you. I did go to the website. I did look at the information that was provided there, and then I also saw the open item, which was questions for the Pinelands board meeting. I understood it would be agenda, but perhaps I was mistaken. That's fine. In this particular case, with regard to the Pinelands Regional Board of Education law firm advisor, and I believe that's Cooper Levinson out of Atlantic City, I would have several pertinent questions as follows. And I broke them down into four basic questions. Question number one is, as has been discussed in the recent past Board of Education meetings, with reference to the New Jersey I apologize. I probably should have turned that off, but she is persistent. With regard to Board of Education meetings with reference to the New Jersey State 2020 or 2020 for health and sex education, and knowing that the larger school districts within Ocean County, including Lakewood, Toms River, and Barnegat, they have voted for an opt-in provision as opposed to the suggested opt-out by families. What is Cooper Levinson's, and I realize they're not here, so it's difficult to ask the question. Madam
Sir, I
President.
am from Cooper Levinson.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
I apologize. What is your name?
Casey Gifford.
Okay, thank you. So my question would be addressed through Madam President, but you in turn can provide a response, I suppose. What is Cooper Levinson's legal guidance with the application of the opt-in provision? And would they concur or dispute the decision and guidance of the Toms River, Barnegat, and Lakewood Board and their attorneys?
Sir, it's not my position to speak on behalf of other attorneys and why they gave specific, legal advice that they did to their districts. Our position is that the guidance from the DOE states that we are allowed to provide an opt-out, and that is why we have given the guidance to our districts that we have given, that it is an opt-out, not an opt-in. So again, I cannot speak to why certain lawyers would give, the advice to their clients that they would. But we are basing our advice just on the plain language of what's in the guidance from the DOE.
Now I have, Madam President, I have a copy of the 66-page 2020 Department of Education standards. It does not exclude an opt-in. It does make a reference to the opt-out. I would question then, Madam President, you and the board, if you have taken advice other than what was just stated, because it does not exclude an opt-in, and the other major townships, cities in our Ocean County have elected to go with an opt-in. Is
Mr.
there any
Becker?
reason that this board would not give that due consideration?
Don't want to interrupt you, but there is a time limit, and this is not designed to be a back and forth. So what we would appreciate is that you present your questions, whatever questions can be answered will be answered. If they can't be answered at this time, Dr. McCooley will get back to you on the answers to those questions.
Okay, the second item on the question, thank you, Madam President, would be that when Cooper Levinson and Mr. Donio submitted his letter of resignation, as I understand it, I've not seen the letter, so I'm not privy to it. My question would be specific then to the reasons for them withdrawing from the elementary, kindergarten through sixth grade representation. If they don't feel they can represent our kindergarten to sixth grade, and the sixth grade will now be seventh grade next year, why do they feel they have the ability to give proper guidance to the seventh to 12th grades, middle school and high school?
Sir, obviously I can't go into specifics of why we decided to turn in our resignation letter. However, I will briefly state that, Cooper Levinson, specifically our education department, has a very good reputation, and Mr. Donio founded this department 27 years ago. And he works every day with one goal in mind, to do what's best for the students. And because we have such a good reputation throughout the state, and because Mr. Donio has been doing this for so long, he enjoys the benefit of being able to choose who he works with and be more selective about who he works with. And, normally I wouldn't address these types of things. This is obviously not a Little Egg board meeting, but we made the decision that we made because we just felt as though the relationship was not moving in a productive manner. And, sometimes people just don't see eye to eye on things. So we made the decision to terminate that relationship. It was fully within our right to do so. It was in our contract that we could do that. And, we're going to move forward with Pinelands, and we are going to dedicate our time with the clients that, have the same goals in mind. And we're going to do that with Pinelands and any new clients or any existing clients that we already have. So, that's the baseline of that decision. Obviously, again, I can't go into specifics, but that is a right that we had in that contract, and it is something that we were entitled to do so.
Okay, I'm not questioning your rights within your contract, but I am questioning the decision on your part that you cannot represent the children in our community. We are one singular community. We do happen to have two Board of Educations. There should be no division line in our community. As a taxpayer, I am questioning, Madam President, how you would choose as a board to continue with representation from somebody who has quit and abandoned our children from kindergarten through sixth grade and think they still have the right. Now, I would also suggest that. the
Mr. Becker, I
business-
need you to move on with your questions. You're
Yes.
way
I'm
exceeded the
coming with-
time
I'm
limit.
coming with my question, Ms. McKay.
Please,
Okay. As the business administrator, and I'm not sure the woman in the center there, are you the business administrator?
Yes, I am.
All right. Are you privy or able to share the results? The problem I have as a taxpayer is the past two meetings of the Elementary Board of Education, the Lake Harbor, Cooper Levinson failed to show up, Mr. Donio or anyone else from their representation. And by doing so, they made it a secret as to why they would abandon the board. Why would they abandon
Mr.
our
Becker,
children?
I'm trying
from
to have
kindergarten?
patience. I need you to get to the questions that you have. This is not a time to pontificate. You need to ask the remainder of your questions. There's not a back and forth here. You ask your questions, we answer them.
I would like to have open evidence of why they quit the board. I would like the letter to be shared, and I believe as a business administrator, you are able to share that. I am a general contractor. I'm a
Again, sir,
professional-
this is
I am
the
a general
Pinelands board.
contractor. I am a professional engineer, and I am an officer of a contracting firm. I know contract law.
Mr.
You are
Becker, I
able
don't
to
want this to
share-
get contentious, please.
I'm not
I-
being contentious.
It's my turn to talk. I've given you way over the time limit.
There's nobody else that wanted to speak here, ma'am.
It doesn't matter. There is a time limit.
There is
And
a
we need,
reasonable
this is not
time
a,
limit.
this is not an opportunity for you to grandstand on things.
I'm not
You're
grandstand-
asking, let me
Ma'am, I'm
speak.
simply asking if the letter
Let me
that they
speak.
used as
You're
their-
asking questions about the Little Egg School Board. This is not the Little Egg
Because-
School Board. If
because
you have other questions that you want to
Cooper
ask,
Cooper Levinson failed to come to the last two meetings. If they opt out of those two meetings, they're abandoning our community. And I have serious questions as to why, in fact, they quit.
and you've
the
asked
other
that
board.
question 5 times. Our attorney has answered that question. If you have any other further questions, would you please ask them now?
Yes, I have a specific question to the consideration of our special needs programs. And when the representative from Cooper Levinson quit the elementary board, it forced them to go into an RFP for a replacement for the law firm for the elementary. And in doing so, they discussed the idea that they would need perhaps a separate representation for the special needs requirements from the state, because it's my understanding in the last couple of board meetings I attended that parents from the high school special needs programs came in and gave very vocal complaints against the director of the special needs program and her failure to respond to them, and also to Dr. McCooley also failing to respond to these written complaints. I'd like to know the status of that, and in fact, if Cooper Levinson is prepared to give a reasonable guidance with regard to special.
Are you
needs
asking a
requirements.
question, sir? What
Yes,
is the
I-
question?
I just did. What is the guidance this board has received with regard to
You need to
representation?
speak up, sir. I'm obviously have a head cold and maybe I'm not hearing as well as I can. Can you please speak up and ask your question, not pontificate? You need to ask a question.
What is the representation guidance that this board has received with regard to the special need requirement as per the state of New Jersey? When the last board members, or I'm sorry, with the last public meeting, the family spoke out, they said that the current director of special needs is not following state established procedures, mandates, requirements, and Dr. McCooley had been advised of the same. What is the response that? the
Okay, so that's your
administration-
question.
What is the
Okay,
response?
I think you said you had 4 questions. What is the 4th question?
That'll do it for tonight.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Good. I have submitted, and I understand Dr. McCooley will respond then to the.
Again, I can't hear you, sir. I'm sorry. Speak up, please.
He said he submitted it and Dr. McCooley has it in documentation and she can respond to it.
So I do have the questions and I think he just asked them all and they were answered. But if there's any
Um,
follow-up, we can,
I would beg to differ, ma'am. They have not been answered, and I would
Go ahead, Case.
appreciate a detailed response specifically to the reason that the district would withhold the letter, the elementary school board resignation letter.
Again, sir, that
From
is
the
not
general
this
public.
board. That is Little Egg. That is the Little Egg Harbor Board of Education. That letter was
And
submitted
again, I
to.
will
But I will,
pontificate
but
if
I
I
will.
must. You failed to show up for the last two public
Okay,
meetings.
I'm going to
Your
address
failure
that,
to
sir.
show up does not relieve
Enough,
you of
enough,
your responsibility to share
enough,
the information.
enough. You've asked that question. It's been answered. You cannot behave this way. Enough is enough. If you wish, you are welcome to make an appointment and come see Dr. McCooley and have a one-on-one with her and voice your concerns. This is not the Little Egg Board. We cannot answer for what the relationship is or was between the Little Egg Board and the attorney. I can tell you that we have a good working relationship for many years with this attorney, and I, for one, have no concerns, nor has any of the board members brought any concerns to our attention. When it is not fair for you to stand there and come after somebody for something in a district that has nothing to do with Pinelands. So we're done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board? Seeing no one, we'll move to board forum. I'll start over here. Ms. Martin?
I would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. But just in keeping with the really positive experience that I've had this first marking period between the play, the volleyball and football team, the other sports events. You know I say this often, but I really truly would like to thank the teachers, the staff, the administration, the students, just everyone for a great first marking period. You've brought, especially the students from the different club activities, the plays, the athletics. I mean, you've really brought an excitement to the area, and it's top notch. And just happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Bartlett, for bringing that to our attention, to look into the homeschoolers being involved in the athletics and the clubs. That's one more way that we're taking care of the kids. And I think that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Zimmerman?
I love the CAPTAI presentation with the our story. I think that really resonated. The positive referrals, I think it's fantastic. And then, I'm looking forward to see where I put it.
Yes.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Mr. Rossetti?
Yes, thank you for the presentations. Congratulations again to the volleyball and the football team. Glad to hear about, the athletic fields getting worked on. I'm still waiting for that cat dome. And I just want to say, we have this awesome theater department, and I'm glad that they're got a lot of love, but I would be remiss not to throw a shout out to our music department, because they are another asset to Pinelands. I had the privilege of seeing the James Bond musical, and I was absolutely blown away. I literally want to go home, put on a tuxedo, and just watch James Bond for the rest of the night. It was phenomenal. So, kudos to them. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you next month.
Mr. Bartlett?
My turn. Cat eye presentation. That was pretty cool. Mr. Ardwin, great job. And all the people that help. I know he named several teachers and just a stand-up guy. Congrats to those that won the school board election. Mr. Dalio? Yeah? Thank you. Mrs. McVeigh
Thank you, Mr. Bartlett.
and Mr. Bonnicky.
Monica's back.
All right, so. Thank you all for serving out on the board and to those that ran again. So that's great. Sports teams, volleyball, football, absolutely. And just excited to see that. Man, it's great. When you're playing football in November, that's saying something, so it's exciting. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Annandale?
Ditto on all of that. I don't want to say it all again. It was, but everything, it's very positive news. I love all the positive. What are they called that you're giving out now? It's so.
Oh, the
outnumbers
positive
any-
referrals.
the
Instead of a
referrals.
negative referral, they get a positive referral.
All the bad things were in the single digits, and then you had like 108, whatever, good things. So that's good. That's it. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. Ms. Fagan? Are you with
Again,
us?
I'm still here, I think.
Thank you.
Sure. I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving, be thankful for your families. Pinelands is always awesome and sits, it has a special place in my heart. I want to thank the attorneys. I think you guys are great. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Miss Betty? You still with us?
No.
Nope. All right, I'll come back. You have anything for us in our final board forum?
Oh, sorry, I started to speak and I got kicked. I'm so sorry. I just want to reiterate what everyone said. Congratulations to the volleyball and football teams. Mr. Arduin seems to show up in a lot of places. He's got a dissection table and all that, and the cat eye, and oh my goodness, we got a lot of really positive. Let me not reiterate. We got so much positivity. I'm very impressed and proud. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for persevering through my scratchy voice.
How about Mr. Dalio?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I was going to let you go last, but go ahead, jump in there.
You have a cold.
Go ahead.
Just wanted on that one. Just briefly, I just want to touch on, you've heard, Mr. Arduin's name is brought up a couple times and it's duly noted. That's a lot of work. He created something that a grassroots effort on his part. And you see how it took off. And I think it's really impressive. So I really got to give a kudos out to Mr. Arduin out there. Congratulations on all your hard work with that. It's really something that your team has brought together. It really highlights all the good things and positive things that go on at this school. So I appreciate your time on that. At the last board meeting, I addressed in board forum that maybe I just would try to set up a meeting for the alternate school. So I did reach out to Mrs. Lichtenwalder and she did meet me. That was a couple weeks ago. And she went over, what they do there. And because a couple of parents that came at the last board meeting, I just felt the urge to go out there and just find out a little bit more about it. And you're talking to a layman, and I think that it would be a good idea, especially since we have another gentleman come here and start highlighting the alternate building, that Mrs. Lichtenwalder could address the board and let the board know all the good things that are going on and the positive things that are happening for those students and those parents. I think that's needed. I'd like to be able to hear it at our next board meeting, possibly. I'd appreciate that. Again, and also the initiatives that's going on, another positive, Pinelands JAGS, the AP class, the AP it's amazing how those things have skyrocketed and become, just separate entities on their own. They really have grown. It's amazing to see that. And really all I have other than that is happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and I hope you feel better.
Thank you. So anyway, I just want to say that sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do to chair the meeting. And it is not in my nature to be rude to people. I try to give people ample time to speak. But it is important to understand that there are rules that even apply to forum. And usually it's a 3-minute time limit and I never just cut people off. It's not designed to be a back and forth. It's designed to ask some questions and get some answers. I would advise anyone who has concerns here at Pinelands to reach out to Dr. McCooley. Her cell number is everywhere. Her office door is always open. And she would be more than happy to sit down with anyone and have a fair and honest conversation about what's going on here at Pinelands. If you then do that and feel like you haven't gotten the answers that you wanted or have further concerns, then please bring that to the board's attention. But please give Dr. McCooley an opportunity. And again, I know she apologized twice for not catching that question ahead of time. She is only human. I know that's hard to believe. But I just want to apologize. It bothers me to have to smack that gavel and be stern. It's not in my nature. I would like to thank my fellow board members. I think we work well as a board. We respect one another. And I appreciate everyone's decorum at our meetings. With that, how about a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.